It's an honor to rise in strong support of M42. The motion before us simply seeks to declare that every November be Hindu Heritage Month. And I want to, at the outset, take this opportunity to acknowledge the member for Nepean. He's someone that I've gotten to know over the past 7 years that we've served together in this place, and he's someone I consider a friend. And I want to acknowledge his leadership in bringing this forward, the member himself being of Hindu heritage. Mr. Speaker, Hinduism is one of the world's oldest religions. Indeed, it has been said to be the world's oldest religion, with an ancient history dating back more than 5,000 years. It's also one of the world's largest religions, with 900 million people, more than 900 million people, from all corners of the world who practice Hinduism. More than that, Mr. Speaker, Hinduism is beyond that of a set of religious beliefs. As the member for Nepean, in his eloquent speech when he spoke to the motion, spoke of the rich, diverse, and ancient inheritance that underpins Hinduism, including wisdom traditions, literature, festivals, and, as the member noted, most importantly, samskaras, or sacraments in their homes. Hinduism is a religious tradition. It is a way of life, or dharma, with a message centered on tolerance, on religious freedom, and in universality. Mr. Speaker, indeed, a Sanskrit phrase found in Hindu texts, when translated into English, means the world is one family. Consistent with this, pluralism is very much inherent in the beliefs of Hindus. These principles, including pluralism and tolerance and universality that I spoke of, are rooted in the sacred Hindu texts, the Rig Vedas, which provide that truth is one, sages call it by many names. Mr. Speaker, Hindus in Canada have a long history dating back more than 100 years ago. Then, a small number of Hindu families came from Punjab. It was not until the 1960s that a larger number of Hindus came to Canada, mostly from northern India. In the 1970s, many more Hindus from other parts of the world, including countries in East Africa, Trinidad, Fiji, and Guyana, came to Canada. Many of those Hindus were fleeing religious discrimination and persecution in their home countries. And I have to say, Mr. Speaker, that one of the great things about Canada is that we are a country of religious freedom. Canadians have a right, indeed it is a fundamental right guaranteed to all Canadians, to peacefully assemble and practice their religion freely. And consistent with that, and in that spirit, this motion reflects the cultural and religious pluralism that is Canada. Today, the Hindu community is a vibrant one. It is more than 600,000 people strong and growing. It is a community that is recognized to be peaceful, community-oriented, productive, and highly educated. Hindu Canadians have contributed to virtually all aspects of Canadian society, including technology, science, the arts, law, medicine, and politics. And speaking of Hindu Canadians who have contributed politically, I do want to acknowledge the member for Nepean. That honourable member came to Canada not many years ago, in 2003 or 2004. He came, like many Hindu Canadians, as someone who was highly educated, who brought professional expertise as an executive in high technology. He came to build a better life for himself and his family, to work hard, and to give back, to contribute to Canada as a dedicated volunteer in his South Ottawa community. And quite remarkably, in little more than a decade upon arriving in Canada, that honourable member was elected to serve the people of Nepean, where he has served over the past 7 years, and during which time he has made substantive contributions. I also would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge our late former colleague, Deepak Obrai. Deepak is someone that I was fortunate to get to know when I was first elected in 2015, and served with Deepak until his untimely passing in 2019. Deepak's political career is a storied one. He did many things, including running for the leadership of the Conservative Party. Although he was very much an underdog and frankly didn't come close to winning, he did contribute in a substantive way to the leadership race, and he made many contributions to our party. But more than that, he made many contributions in this place where for 22 years he tirelessly and effectively represented the people of Calgary East and Calgary Forest Lawn. For many years, he served as Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, where he represented Canada on the international stage in that capacity. Mr. Speaker, in closing, let me say that in passing this motion, in declaring November as Hindu Heritage Month, rightfully acknowledges the significant contributions of Hindu Canadians. More than that, it provides a unique platform, an opportunity for Canadians of Hindu heritage to promote their culture and traditions, and to tell their stories, and the stories of their ancestors that are interwoven into the fabric of Canada. Mr. Speaker, this House has a long tradition of passing bills and motions that celebrate communities that make up Canada. In that spirit, I hope that this worthy motion receives the unanimous support of this House, and that every November we can celebrate as Hindu Heritage Month. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.